going on, everyone? So we got to go over Bonk today. We had two different scenarios that could have happened yesterday. So the one that we actually got was the pullback one that we were mentioning, and that was hitting this support down here at 4Z1639, or really 4Z1640. That's 4 zeros after the decimal place, 1640. And currently we are at 1711 right now. Bonk is still up 4.2% in the last 24 hours, which I don't see how that's possible, but it is. Now it's up 4.8%, right? It's doing its thing, right? Everything inside the market's pulling back. Yet we got Bonk rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. So this is definitely what we're going over. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but just look at this. Everything is kind of, trying to recover, but Bonk is recovering better than the rest, okay? Everything, all right? Everything. Now, Punk is doing pretty good. Now, I do want to speak on a few things here because the MACD, we have to pay attention to that. The RSI, we have to pay attention to that. And the support that we just now hit, we have to pay attention to that as well. So, without further ado, the first one we will go over is the MACD. Okay, so if you actually look at the MACD here, you can see how it is crossing over here at the top. This is a key sign and a key indicator that we are having that pullback. So you can see how it's crossed at the top here, those two lines at the top, and you can see how the volume is now starting to curve downwards inside of the more sold area. So not necessarily oversold. It's only oversold when you see it all the way down like this. But right now, we're definitely going to end up seeing some selling. We did see that pullback here. This is the daily chart, by the way. So this is the daily chart. You've seen how the MACD is now pulling backwards. We're also seeing simultaneously at the same time the RSI. The RSI has pulled back a lot, but look at how it's curving upwards. That means that this white line is going to start curving down a little bit, while the red line curves upwards a little bit, and then it's going to have a little bit more upward momentum, and then it's going to go down. Same thing with this. You can see how the MACD was oversold up here, but notice how these two lines aren't down here right now. When these two lines are not down here, it typically means that we're still going to have some buying. We're just going to see a little bit of selling, bringing this line down a little bit more, and then you're going to see it rise again. And you can even see it inside of the volume. We had one big green candlestick here after all these red candlesticks. So now you're starting to see the buyers are kind of trying to come back inside of the market a little bit. So you can see this big green candlestick after these red candlesticks. All right. So we got that knocked out. But you also still have to pay attention to those levels that we have. We have the support over here, like I said, at 1640, and then we have the support at 1435. There's that possibility that we get rejected and we start pulling back more. So let's go ahead and hit this up on the 4-hour chart, because when you actually look at the 4-hour chart here, you see that we broke down a little bit below it, but we were able to get right back above it. So on the 4-hour chart, we're seeing something slightly different. So as you look at the 4-hour chart, you actually see on the MACD that it is oversold when you look at it from the 4-hour chart perspective, right? So I want you to take a quick look at this and think about what you can come up with, right? So what I'm seeing here is these green bars here are starting to increase. That's the volume. The volume is now starting to go bullish on the 4-hour chart, and you can see the MACD is also starting to increase. So even though we look over here and we see that we have the daily chart, and we see the daily chart seems like about some selling is about to come in, this is going to be like a short-lived type of selling, just like how it was here. You can see that was very short-lived. Like this selling here, very short-lived. It's almost the same thing that we just seen here, like it's very short-lived. So I think that we might have some short-lived selling, and we should have some buying coming back into the markets here for Bonk. So we got that covered, right? Back to the 4-hour chart. So now that we're going back to the 4-hour chart here, you can see also on the RSI. The RSI sold out a lot, almost to the point where it was nearly oversold whenever it's out of this territory from the 70 range down to around here, the 30 range. If it's not inside of that territory, typically it's oversold once it gets down closer to here and up there. So it pretty much kind of was oversold a little bit, and that's why we're seeing purchasing coming back in. You can start seeing the RSI starting to curve upwards, but there's always that possibility that it randomly starts curving downwards as well and tries to go back down here to the 1430 area, the 1435 area. That is where our next support is. So that's another level that you want to watch out for. So right now, pretty much what we got going in Bonk, we are about to try to retest this resistance. We're going to try to keep rising up there. But first, we have a micro support. We have a minor micro support first before we get there. So first of all, look at this right here. This, boom, micro support, minor support right there. And that is because we hit that support multiple times. So that minor support then will become our resistance, right? We're going to have to try to get above that level right there when we start to go rise on the uptrend. That's the level that we're really gonna have to try to get past, because if we cannot get past that, we're not going to be able to do what we want to do and go higher up to our levels here at 2150 and then breaking out from there. That's what we really want to do. But the 4-hour chart is pretty bullish. So when you look here, the 4-hour chart's bullish. The MACD is curving upwards. The RSI is going to start curving upwards here. This is bullish. When you look at the volume indicators down here, you can also see we're starting to get some more green. This little thing is kind of in the way, so you can't really see all of it. But yeah, we're starting to get some green coming in to those volume indicators. So that is very good as well. Now, cool. We got the 4-hour chart done. We also got the daily chart done. Now, super short term. Let's go 15-minute chart. What do we see on the 15-minute chart now? So what I can see immediately looking at this 15-minute chart, I like to look at the MACD first. So you can see, kind of like how I was talking about with the daily chart, how there was just a little bit of selling. Even though you've seen the red bars here, it just means that there's a little bit of selling, not much to kind of push it down, but there's also a lot less volume here as well. So we really need to wait for more volume. But on the short term, it just looks choppy and very, very much sideways right now. And you can see the RSI looks like it's about to curve downwards, but it'll easily go right back up. So 4-hour, we're definitely bullish. 15-minute, we're a little choppy and sideways. So I'm going to just stick with the 4-hour because the 4-hour is looking lots better, right? So we got that. And yeah, we definitely look very, very good when you look at the 4-hour. So enough of the charts, right? Enough of the charts. Let's go ahead and look at the stuff that matters. Like the charts matter, obviously, but then we have things that just invalidate the charts, like the fundamentals and the things that they do, the different updates that they make. So boom, transitioning to the next phase. Now, Bonk, 4.8% up in the last 24 hours. Cool. $194 million inside 24 trading volume. That's cool as well. Very cool, definitely. Good amount of money trading in the trading volume. But one thing that we really need to look at, because a lot of people don't really want to pay attention to this. Look, this is actually huge. They're going to be burning a lot of Bonk. The plan is to burn not million, not billion, but trillion. 1 trillion Bonk once the token reaches 1 million holders. So they're going to burn 1 trillion Bonk when they get 1 million holders on the Solana side of things. And they actually almost have 1 million holders on the Solana side of things. So this is actually going to be pretty big. So yeah, it's going to be a huge landmark for them, a huge area for them to reach, and they're pretty much almost there. This is the live reader right here, so it's going to show you where we are that live. So you got 921,714. So almost there. We need about 89K more, and then it will be there. So it's gonna take some time, but I think Bonk will get there eventually. You just gotta stay loyal, right? It just has to get there. It's gonna get there eventually. Just give it some time. They're gonna do some updates, and then they'll eventually get up there. And also, this is pretty new. Now you can trade Bonk on OKX and DEX. So the OKX wallet, the OKX DEX, you can now trade Bonk directly on there. So that's actually pretty good. On chain trading, look at what I just did. On chain trading just received a major upgrade. Our DEX allows you to monitor live wallets, follow top wallets, and trade across 130 plus chains, all from a single wallet. So that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. This is exactly what we want to see out of this. And I think Bonk is going to be pretty good coming in the future, right? But this is all I got for you all today. I just kind of wanted to bring this to your attention. And here, it's in your attention now. So yeah, we'll be doing good. We just got to wait 4-hour. Again, we're bullish on the 4-hour chart. That's good. Let's see if we can do some recovery and make our way back up here to 2150, because we got rejected all the way back inside of April up there, right? We got rejected. Let's see if we can actually beat it this time, right? So it's possible. It's possible. We really just have to have that push of momentum, okay? And then when you look over here, how we just now broke down from this on May 3rd, we broke down on that support, but at least you know like this is a good area for support and for resistance for us. So now you know it's definitely our resistance area. We had resistance there, we had support there, 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 and then we broke the support there. So yeah, we had it for a long time at that same area. So hopefully we can break it this time. I'm already noticing a little bit of a wedge pattern growing here on the 15-minute chart. So look at this. Just take a look. Boom. This wedge pattern right here, hopefully we can break out on the upside. So it would look something like this if we were to break out on the upside. That is a big if, right? I'm going to put the IF for if. But there is a possibility that it does something like this and breaks down to the downside and then breaks this. Hopefully it doesn't, but let's say it does. Then we got to get ready for 1570. So that is something people don't want to see or don't want to accept. But we have to be prepared for every single situation, right? We got to be prepared for the upside and for the downside. So this is if, and then I'm going to put BULLISH. All right, so this is bullish. So if we are bullish, we get here and we go up to 1800, right? But if we are bearish, this is inevitably going to be our target, right? And we don't want to do that, but we do have a little bit of a short-term wedge here. So we'll see. And this is definitely a wedge pattern. I always say if it hits it 3 times, that is a valid pattern. And this is valid. This is 1 time here, 2 times here, 3 times here, 1 time here, 2 times here, 3 times here. Now, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there, we got it. We did it 3 times. All right. So yeah, that's what we got right there. I'm gonna keep you all updated on this. And then obviously this one down here is if it's bearish, it'll go down here. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, this is all I got for y'all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you really think Bonk is going to do the bullish or the bearish option? Personally, what do I believe? I believe whatever direction Bitcoin's going, Bonk is going. So, yeah. Wednesday, the 7th. May 7th, Wednesday. What happens on May 7th, Wednesday? Well, the Fed meeting and the interest rate decision happens on May 7th on Wednesday, and that's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to know what direction we're going. Obviously, we're going to end up breaking out of this before that day. Like this is a small pattern, so we might break out on the top or on the upside or the bottom. Personally, right now, the SPY, it looks like it's going to be breaking out going towards the upside a little bit. So if Bitcoin follows that, then it could do the same thing. If not, we'll just have to buy down here. That's pretty much all I got for y'all. Hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And as always, I'll be back with another video.